Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back, I'm not going anywhere. Boost! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available in the fall of 2026 and a half BC, the album, Dad F. Rock on Gold Dust, Shimmy Shimmy Woman. Boost! How are you guys doing today? Alright, so did you make it through the weekend? Did you have a good weekend? Get a lot of relaxation in, or did you party? Did you party hard? Don't be tardy to the party. Happy Monday. Welcome to the work week. I'm having a little bit of coffee today. Today I am trying this new coffee that I haven't tried before. La Colombe. Well, I've tried that brand before, but I've never tried this little can that I got, which is vanilla latte. Perfectly sweet and creamy. Just like me. Perfectly sweet and creamy. Family friendly. Okay. Today we're going to talk about somebody else that's perfectly sweet and creamy, and that is Shane Dawson. And actually, the video that I was planning on making today has kind of morphed into something else as I started looking into what had been going on with Shane Dawson. So this is kind of how I work over here on the Peter Monn channel. I know that you guys think that I love when I get the word hate boner and people are like, you have a hate boner for these people. Like, I just sit here all day long and I'm like, oh my God, I'm obsessed. What's going on? But that's really not the case at all. I sit here and I actually, YouTube videos that I watch, I should go into my history and see which videos that I have watched. RuPaul, Work That Body, that song from the early 90s. The RuPaul Show, 1987. This was actually an interview that she and Michelle Visage did back in the day. The Miss Gay Texas US of A pageant that just happened a couple weeks ago. Erica Norrell, one of my favorite drag queens of all time, showing you how it's done, okay? And then Miss Continental 2004 opening program to that. Happy 20th anniversary, okay, to somebody winning Miss Continental. And, okay, so I watch all of these, drag pageants. I love to watch anything that is, abandoned. Abandoned water parks are my absolute favorites. So I don't really keep up on the daily of what's going on with the Shane Dawsons and all that kind of stuff. I do kind of, look through the Twitter and look through the Instagram and all that kind of stuff. But if nothing kind of, pokes my fancy, so to speak, then it doesn't kind of hit my radar, right? Unless people send it to me. So it's not like I'm the investigator of the world, right? But I was like, you know what? I had seen this thing from Shane Dawson because I had been sent an email because I had previously purchased Shane Dawson products back in the day. And so I had been sent an email that he was having a sale on his website. So I went over to his website because I wanted to see what was going on with the sale. And at the same time, around the same time that I got the email, I started getting DMs from people speculating why he is having this massive massive email. He's having this massive sale on his website, his merch website. And a lot of people are speculating that the reason that he's having this massive sale, which we're going to talk about in just a second, is because he is making room over there for his next merch sale. Now, if you watch one of my previous videos just recently that I did talking about Shane Dawson, he actually just sold out of his conspiracy merch, and he said, and I think it was a Snapchat thing or an Instagram story, that he hadn't actually ordered a lot of merch, and that was why he had sold out. Which is interesting to me because in all of my years of covering drama, whether it's palettes or merch or mystery boxes like Jaclyn Hill or whatever, when people come out and they're like, ooh, I sold out right away, and they make it look like they ordered 1 million components and that they sold out 1 million overnight. I did think it was pretty genuine of Shane Dawson to come out and say, I didn't really order that many, units, so I will be ordering more. And he even said in the Snapchat thing, he was like, I didn't think that people would really want to buy this much. That's why I didn't order that many of it. It is so hot in here with this sweatshirt on. Woo! It's hotter than a sinner in church on Sunday, and Lord, I ought to know. Gargoyles! Ouija boards! She's not a Christian. I was going to say she's not a sinner. She's a sinner. Tati, no! Tati, no! She's not a Christian. Anyway, it is so hot in here, my Lord. Or maybe it's just that I'm talking about Shane Dawson and I'm getting all heated already. But anyway, oh, I know what I need. I need a little lip gloss. When your lips are dry as mine, then it's Luna Beauty time. All right, so I noticed this website merch sale. His merch is for sale over there, you guys, for 80% off. I could not believe it. Now, he's had pretty massive sales in the past, and I will say that one of the things that's interesting to me is that, you know, like, he'll have his slimes for sale, and then the very next week, they're marked up to full price again, okay? And then he'll have, like, a hoodie on sale for, like, 20% off. And then the very next week, the same hoodie that was 20% off is full price again, right? And I just think, honestly, I think, you know, a lot of people are like, well, this is what a lot of businesses do, and I understand that to some degree, but I do think it's a little bit different when you're an influencer. And if you watch Jeffree Star closely, because I get the same emails from Jeffree Star that I do from Shane Dawson, and those emails, like, almost literally come out, like, on the same day, and it's like Jeffree Star will have a sale and Shane Dawson will have a sale, and so I know that the whole thing is pretty much organized by Killer Merch, which is the distribution company, the merch company that is owned by Jeffree Star. So I'm sure it's all of those people that are putting this all together. Like, I don't believe that it's like Shane Dawson sitting there going, okay, Shannon? Yeah, Shannon? Shannon's head of merch, right? So I want to mark these things down to 80%. No, not $4.50 for a slime. Make it $2. And then on the 16th, we're going to mark it back up to $12.50. I don't care if the people are upset that they have to pay full price for a slime. No, they should have got on there today and got it for $2.50. I don't believe that's Shane Dawson, okay? I just don't. I believe that's the people at Killer Merch that are in charge of his merch company, and I believe that Shane Dawson has signed all that stuff over. I still think it's kind of a bad look, right? But if Shane and now Jeffree, who is in charge of his merch company, you know, were working together, and Shane knew that he was coming out with this big series. He's been really talking about this series a lot. We're going to come out with all of this merch aligned with this series. And you have to remember, okay, he did like a 3-part video series when he did like the haunted area or whatever. And he came out with merch just for that. So if he's going to come out with a big series, chances are, even though he hasn't done this in the past, except for with the Jeffree Star series, he's going to come out with merch, okay? So people are speculating that he's trying to get rid of all of this merch so that he has room on his merch shop for his new merch that's going to go along with this series when the series drops, all right? And I have to tell you, I was really kind of surprised about this. So when you go over to his merch shop, let me get over here and tell you guys, like, the prices of some of these things. So, like, the pig robe that used to be... Here, let me put my reading glasses on. Hold on a second. Okay, so the pig robe, which used to be $55, is now $11. Now, you might say, it's not that big of a deal that he's having a sale, right? Like, I think that somebody that paid $55 for that robe, that's now, you can go get it for, like, $11, which is what? Like, the price of 2 Happy Meals at McDonald's? I mean, like, I think that's kind of a big deal. I really do, right? And then, hold on a second. The diet hoodie was $45. It's now $9. The pig handbag, which a lot of his super fans really, really wanted, that was $65, is now $13, okay? And then it goes over here. And the slimes, which were $12 just, you know, 2 days ago, are now $2.40. So I'm going to save this stuff because I want to see if it goes back up to like a normal price if he doesn't sell out of it. And it feels like, to me, like, what he's doing is, it's like, I'm just going to come up with a number for an example, but, like, let's say if he has, like, 100 units, right, of slimes, and it's like, okay, he makes them $12, right? Okay, they're probably, I don't know, 50 cents to make, if even that. They're probably, like, 20 cents to make a slime. So he marks them up to $12, right? Okay, so then he sells, let's say, 30 of them. So he's got 70 of them left. So then he does this sale where they're like 20% off, okay? And then he sells like another 10. And then he's got what, like 60 of them left? So he keeps on doing these sales until he gets rid of all of his inventory. And then he can bring in new merchandise into his store so that his website doesn't look like it's overwhelmingly, like, it's packed with all this stuff. His website right now, like, his conspiracy stuff shows that it's sold out, and other than that, he pretty much just has the stuff that's on sale that's left, and that's it. Like, there's really not that much on his website anymore. So people are speculating, though, that he's going to come out with some huge merch drop in association with this series, which, okay, fine, you know? But then it makes you wonder, like, what is this series? And so people are, like, really wondering, what is this series that he is really, like, pepping up? Because he has really been talking about it on Snapchat, on Instagram, and everywhere else, a series. And he's kind of hinting at the fact that it's going to be something to do with makeup. Like, he's been doing a lot of makeup stuff on Snapchat, which in my last video, I talked about how I really kind of wondered if he hadn't been approached by Snapchat. Like, first of all, I don't really ever use Snapchat. Now, I will tell you, in doing drama videos in the last month, I've kind of gone over to Snapchat a little bit more, just because people are posting over there. But I was like, does anybody use Snapchat anymore? Like, seriously? Like, I don't ever use Snapchat. Like, on my personal Snapchat, I don't even know the last time that I ever, like, got on. It's probably been 2 years, in all honesty. And so I was like, does anybody use Snapchat? And for me personally, when somebody, no offense to anybody out there that's gotten like a show and whatever, but when people get these shows on Snapchat, I almost kind of think it's a little bit of a joke. I'm kind of like, you got you got a show on Snapchat? Like, I'm confused, right? And so, but I didn't understand why Shane Dawson was really building up his Snapchat. You know, it would almost make more sense if he was really building up his Instagram. But, like, he's posting, like, maybe 1 or 2 things on his Instagram story compared to, like, the 30 things that he's posting on his Snapchat. So he's really building up this Snapchat, trying to get a following over there, and I don't really understand it. And the only thing that would make sense is if he was trying to get a show over there, or if Snapchat had approached him for a show and said, hey, we would love to give you a show. What's interesting when you watch the Snapchats that he's posting over there, he's either doing like photo dumps up from like the last 2 years, 3 years of just like dumping pictures here and there. Well, even like the last 10 years of just things that have happened in his life. Or like the last 24 hours, what they are is he has ordered these costumes for he and Ryland for Halloween. And it's kind of them putting these Halloween costumes together. And so I'm almost kind of wondering if they didn't get approached about doing like a couple's reality show on Snapchat, like 24 hours in their life kind of thing, because that's a lot of what Shane posts over on his Snapchat. I mean, they're not going to approach him for a makeup tutorial show. They're not going to approach him for like a day in his life. He's not going to go back and talk about the cancellation in the past. So the only thing that I can think that they would think people would be interested in is his relationship with Ryland and like what a day in his life looks like, right? So that would have to be what the Snapchat show would be. But he's not talking about anything to do with that. But he is talking about having people come over to his Snapchat. Let me tell you, I went to his, hold on a second, I have this all pulled up. I went over to his, well, Shane 2 channel now, but it was his Shane Glosson channel before. That was when he previously was doing makeup looks. And he posted these, like, several pictures up here. Here, I'll just kind of post them in a row. And their makeup looks. First one's like a makeup look. Second one's like him doing, like, some makeup. Third one's him and Ryland. Okay. And it says on here, in between editing the next series I've been working on, LOL, Shane Dawson doing makeup, Starbucks, like, what do you call it? A Snapchat thing. Tasting Starbucks and finding other ways to embarrass myself. Come hang, it's a nightmare, okay? And on here, he posts his Snapchat thing. So you can, like, you know, do it with your phone and whatever, and then you can, like, go follow him. And I'm like, okay, here he is yet again, trying to get people to come follow his Snapchat. I really don't understand it. I mean, like, if you came to me, like, I feel like, is there something going on here that I'm missing? Like, as a drama commentator that has been doing this for 6 years, like, in all honesty, like, in looking at this, I'm like, what's the missing part here? What's the missing link, the missing piece? Because if somebody came to me and said, okay, like, you know, like, I have this cancellation and now I'm trying to come back and I'm doing this podcast and I'm going to come back to this series. What do you think my next move should be? I can tell you that my top 100 suggestions would not be, anywhere in there would not be to build your platform on Snapchat. Like, I don't understand what that's about at all. Like, I really, really don't. unless he kind of feels like maybe it's a safe platform over there and that people can't really leave comments, and so he doesn't have to deal with the comments over there, that might be it. Like, but I don't know. He's still posting stuff on Instagram, so he's still getting the comments over there, and he's still posting the stuff on his YouTube community tab. So I went into the YouTube community tab. Now, I have to tell you, given the fact that I've been told by many, many people that Rylan and Shane are notorious for deleting comments, okay, I didn't think that, but I guess I've been told that they have been, and people have told me time and time again, I left comments that got deleted. The other thing that people constantly say is you can tell because if it has a reply to it and then the reply is gone, that means that they're deleting comments on there, okay? Because they're deleting the reply of whatever somebody responded to that, and you can't see it anymore. So I really thought that I would go to the comment section of Shane saying that he's over on Snapchat and that it would just be glorious comment after glorious comment and that people would be really, really supportive, right? Because I think it's weird. It's like the common consensus, and I don't know where this is coming from. It's kind of like everybody's kind of like accepted and forgiven Shane and like he's moving on now and everything's great and he's coming out with this new series and whatever, right? And so I went over here to read these comments and I was kind of surprised. I just got out of the comments. Hold on a second. I have to tell you, I was kind of surprised by the comments. And I just screenshot them going, I went to the newest ones first. And these were the comments that I got. It's a series with Jeffree, huh? With 2 emojis. Can I ask how long they investigated you for? I think you should take all these little video clips of you doing these things and throw it in a YouTube video. I love watching you and Rylan. It's my favorite part of the week by far. That would be great. And there was a reply, and the reply has you can't see it. Shut up, you like cats. Shanae needs her own lip shade. Stop existing. Shane Dawson, and somebody does this with like a puke emoji. Do this on Instagram. Hold on a second. No. Get ready for another cash grab. Hold on a second. Cringe. And then your bit emoji is literally terrifying, Shane. And when you go to it, here's another example of how there was a reply and you can see, hold on a second. You can see that there's a reply there, okay? And then when you go to the reply, there's no reply, which means that they're deleting comments. Cringe ASF, Nightmare Entertainment, yeah, I'm here for that. Okay, somebody said, thank you for coming back. I had no idea why you left, and when I did some research, I found it was really petty for the internet to hate on you for stuff you did in the past that you are ashamed of now. You're so mature, and I can't wait to see what new stuff you come up with. And there you can see again, okay, that there's like a reply, and then when you go to it, hold on a second. When you go to it, you can't see the reply, okay? So, have no idea what people will say. We won't be watching, which got 2 replies that are both gone now. And then you're disgusting, dude. And it's a lot of comments like that. Now, there are mixed in there. There are nice comments as well. Comments like, looks good, love your videos. So freaking excited. I can't find you on Snapchat. Yes, Shane. I mean, they're so incredibly sexy. I mean, there are some, comments on there that are nice as well. It's not all negative comments. But I did think it was interesting, right? With this whole kind of attitude that, like, I'm back and I'm going to do this series and whatever. And I think that Shane has probably, at this point, decided that he's just going to kind of, like, move on and move forward. And those people that like me, and those people that don't. And it just is what it is. And I think he's kind of, like, accepted that at this point. It's interesting to me that comment in there was that you are so mature. There's a lot that I could say about Shane Dawson if I were going to say positive things, okay? And I know that people are like, oh, Peter, like, you can't stand Shane Dawson and whatever. No, there are positive things. Like, I think in anybody that I cover on my channel that there are positive and there are negative, critical things that I could say about that person. There are positive things that I could say about Shane Dawson. I don't know that describing him as extremely mature is one of the things that I would describe about Shane Dawson. In fact, I think that his behavior on what he presents to the public, and all I can judge is on what he presents to the public, is extremely immature. It doesn't seem to me, and I have to say, having met the man, like, that does not, it doesn't align with what I met and what I talked to in person, because that person did seem mature to me and very business-minded. And so that means to me that this person that he puts out there in the world is a character, right? And so the character that he's presenting to the world is extremely immature. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. If you guys think that, you know, Shane comes across as extremely mature. Maybe there are things that he's doing that I'm not seeing that are coming across as extremely mature. But that's not something, you know, that I could say about him. You know, just, I think if you're gonna, like, shine the man on and give him compliments, that's not the one that I would see as an honest compliment. I'm just saying, like, that's not something that I witness, you know what I mean? Like, it's like if you were talking about James Charles, and you said, my battery died right as I was getting into my comparison study of Shane Dawson to James Charles, which is maybe a reach, but what I was going to say was this. You know, I know that people that are fans of Shane Dawson are going to see him in a certain way and whatever, right? But I feel like a comment like that is, you know, if you, like I've always said this on my channel, like if you really care about somebody, if you really love somebody, even if it's like from a YouTuber point of view where you watch them and you want to leave a heartfelt comment or whatever, if you really care about that person, like tell them the truth about what you see. And maybe that's that person's experience of truth. I don't know. But for me, it's like, you know, James Charles, like, you know, I'm sure there are some positive things that we could say about James Charles. We'll save that for another video. I'm sure there are some positive things that we could say, right? I don't know that his being on the best dressed list, okay, is one of those things. But I'm sure there are some positive things that we could say about, you know, James Charles. But I think if you were like a super fan of James Charles, to get into a comment and say, like, I love you so much, James Charles, I think the internet has been really unfair, and like, you always take accountability for everything. It's like, what? I'm confused about that comment a little bit, right? Like, James Charles is somebody that, like, never takes accountability for anything, right? So, I don't know, like, you know, I think it's all perspective, too, like I say. But anyway, I went over to Shane Dawson's Snapchat because, you know, he's feeding out the Snapchat now, like I said. So, I wanted to see what he had going on over on the Snapchat, and I was surprised, I have to tell you. No, let me just kind of give you the feedback, because I'm just going to show you like 20 seconds of what he had over there. But he like orders all these costumes and stuff for Halloween. I don't really know what his costume is that he's going to be for Halloween. But then he buys Ryland a bunch of stuff over there. You can go look at his Snapchat. It appears that Ryland is going to be in drag he buys him like a breastplate, like a plastic breastplate, and then he's doing like this TikTok and stuff like that. So apparently Ryland is going in drag for Halloween. So they show all these, like, you know, there's a lot of Snapchats, you guys. Like, I mean a lot. Like, probably 20 or 30. And he even put on his Instagram story, which I thought was interesting, because he does this one thing where it's kind of like jokey, haha. He's like, this is my Instagram live, and blah, 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 and whatever. And that part was kind of funny, honestly. And then he's like, I posted so many, like, Snapchats over on my Snapchat. So, anyway, here is 2 seconds of what he posted on Snapchat.
Okay, I don't know why I got these, but I don't regret it.
Huh? Yeah. Oh my god! What is the purpose?
My nails. What are you talking about?
Try to drink something.
There you have it. There's Shane's very original, creative idea for Halloween. I was so excited about it. And when I was watching this, I was like, are you kidding me? Damn it, Janet, you know why? Because I just ordered these from Amazon myself, and I was like, oh my god. Shane and I are going to have the same costume for Halloween. I was like, oh my god. I'm going as the conspiracy palette. Fail! Anyway, you know, so many people are speculating at this point that Shane Dawson's next series is going to be with Jeffree Star, and he's getting all these comments that are like, this is going to be another cash grab, this is going to be another series with Jeffree Star. I think Jeffree Star will be part of the next series that he does. I think his next series is going to be some kind of like return to YouTube kind of series. And I do think that Jeffree Star will be a part of that. I do not think the series will be. I really thought this through to try to figure out and get ahead of the algorithm. No, I really tried to figure this out a little bit. I think that Shane Dawson, you know, I think he's smart enough to know that, like, there are a lot of people that would love to see him with Jeffree Star. But there are a lot more people that would really come for him if he did an entire series with Jeffree Star, especially if he did another palette drop and whatever. I also think, like, he's done it, so, like, why do it again? Like, I think that's probably his mentality. And you have to remember, like, he's made a ton of money off that, you guys, right? So he doesn't need to do another palette drop, not to mention the criticism that would come along with that. Like, I think, like, there are a lot of people that are like, well, it's really not that big of a deal, and I'm really happy to see Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson back together. But there are so many people, you guys, that are still really done with the both of them and the both of them together, that if they ever got into a video, like, where they were trying to sell, like, some palette again together, I mean, it would be ruthless, you know? Like, people would really, really come for them. So, I think that Jeffree Star will be part of the series? Yes, I do. Do I think that the series will be about him and Jeffree Star? No. And like I said, he knows that people like to see him and Jeffree Star together. So I think like one episode of the series or something will be like Ryland and him visiting, you know, Jeffree's ranch. And that'll be like really pumped up and really like, he'll put out like, you know, a 2-minute like trailer for that episode and whatever. And everybody will be excited about Shane and Jeffree back together and all that kind of stuff. And he'll even probably like, you know, I don't know, like, you know, tease it out a little bit, like it's going to be like a palette drop. He'll do something to make people think that it's bigger than it is. And it will really just be like, this is my return back, and this is what I'm doing now, and we're in Colorado, and we're living our best life, and all that kind of stuff. You know, and a lot of other people are speculating that maybe it'll be their wedding and whatever. I don't know. I would be really surprised if that were it. So I don't know. But I do think that he's also, I think that when the series comes out, I would be really surprised if when the series is done, that it doesn't go along with something to do with some kind of social media deal, like him getting a story, like a show on Snapchat or whatever. Like, I would be really surprised by that. I mean, you guys, if you go look at his podcast, he's still pulling pretty good views for a YouTuber. He's pulling about a million views per podcast. That's not great for Shane Dawson, you know, but it's great for YouTubers. You know, it was interesting because I saw that Trisha Paytas put out yesterday, she was talking about Mr. Beast, and Mr. Beast got like 20 million views in like one day on a video, and she was like, these views are insane. Do people like really pull these kind of views in like one day or something? I think maybe it was like actually more than that. Hold on a second, because I don't want to misquote the numbers. Hold on, where is that? Here, I just pulled her up. Here it is. He got... Why can't I see this? Hold on a second. 20 million views in one day, right? And she was like, well, here's her tweet. I can read it to you. She said, okay, so I know I'm super late to the Mr. Beast train, but oh my God, how does he get so many views? Has any YouTuber ever gotten views like this? Like, the content is well produced for sure, but 20 million views in one day, crazy. Is it just him, or is there a machine behind it? And what's kind of funny is, I was like, is this kind of shade towards Shane a little bit? Because when Shane was doing the series with Jeffree Star, like, they did pull like massive views. Not like 20 million in a day, but they pulled pretty good views, right? But I also think it's interesting that, you know, Shane was pulling those kinds of views back in the day. What does The Beautiful Life of Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star, oh, hold on a second. The Beautiful Life, let's see what it's sitting at today. Beautiful Life, Shane Dawson, I don't even know what it's called. Let's see what it's sitting at. The Beautiful World of Shane Dawson is sitting at 23 million views from 2 years ago. The Beautiful World of Jeffree Star is sitting at 29 million views, and that's from 2 years ago, you know? So, good views. Not the views that they're getting today on their videos. You know, Jeffree Star's getting less than 1 million, and Shane Dawson is pulling about 1 million views per podcast. I think that's pretty good for the podcast, honestly. So, you know, I think if Snapchat, you know, would probably, they've done, you know, these series with smaller YouTubers, I'm sure that they would be pretty interested in somebody that can pull 1 million views on a podcast, which means that they would be getting anywhere from 250,000 to 500,000 views on a Snapchat story show. I mean, that would be good for Snapchat, I would think. So, you know, do I think that that would be, you know, something that would be lucrative for them? Sure, I do. And I think that might be smart. So, I don't know. Maybe that's why he's trying to get people to come over there. It does seem to me weird, though, that he wouldn't just kind of like tease it out and be like thinking about doing like a Snapchat store, you know, a show over here or whatever, but maybe he can't do that yet. I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.